We're gonna read a book named Dear Mrs. Laro. So let me just look at the page here, cause I didn't open the page again. So okay, guys. So okay, let me just. So here is the story. It's called Dear Mrs. Laro. So for me, I love this story. Like literally, this is my top favorite story. Like I love this. I just love this to death. Not that much, but I still love it. So this is the story about a dog who just couldn't Okay, so this story is about a dog who was misbehaving. So the owner took him to academy where it teaches how to be obedient, and then he escaped and blah blah blah. You will know it after you watch this video. Good luck watching this video, and I'll see you in the next part of the video. Bye!
Dear Mrs. Laro, Letters from Obedience School, the North City Register Gazette, September 30th. Local dog enters obedience school. Like Ike Laro. Sitting in a long list of behavior problems, North City resident Gertrude R. Raro yesterday enrolled her dog, Ike, in the Iber Bromweider Kine Academy. Established in 1953, the academy has a history of dealing with such issues. I'm at my wit's end, said Mrs. Laro. I love Ike, but I'm afraid he's quite spoiled. He steals food night off the kitchen counter, chases the neighbor's cats, howls whenever I'm away. And last week I was crossing the street. He pulled me and tore my best camel's hair coat. I just don't know what else to do. School officials were unavailable for comment. Dear Mrs. Laro, how could you do this to me? This is a prison, not a school. You should see the other dogs. They're bad dogs, Mrs. Laro. I do not fit in. Even the journey here was a horror. I am very unhappy and may need something to chew on when I get home. Please come right away. Sincerely, Ike. Dear Mrs. Laro, were you really upset about the chicken pie? You know you might have discussed it with me. You could have said, Ike, don't eat the chicken pie. I'm saving for dinner. Would that have been so difficult? It would have prevented a lot of hard feelings. Needless to say, I'm being horribly mistreated. You say I should be patient and accept that I'll be here through the term. Are you aware that the term lasts for 2 months? Do you know how long that is in dog years? Sincerely, Ike. Dear Mrs. Laro, I'd like to clear up some misconceptions about the Hibbins cats. First, they're hardly the little angels Miss Hibbins make them out to be. Second, how should I know what they were doing out on the fire escape on the middle of January? They were being a bit melodramatic, don't you think? The way they cried and refused to come down? It's hard to believe they were really sick for 3 whole days. But you know cats. Your dog, Ike. Dear Mrs. Laro, you should see what goes around here. The way my warden, Miss Calondi, barks at orders is shocking. Day after day, I'm forced to perform the most meaningless task. Today was sit and roll over, all day long. I flatly refuse to roll over. It's ridiculous. I won't do it. Of course, I was severely punished. And another thing, who will help you across the street while I'm away? You know you have a bad habit of not looking both ways. Think of all the times I saved you. Well, there was that one time. Anyway, I must say, you weren't very grateful. Complaining on and on about the tiny rip on a ratty old coat. But the point is, you need me. Yours, Ike. Dear Mrs. Laro, the guards here are all caught up in this good dog and bad dog thing. I hear it constantly. Good dog, Ike. Don't be a bad dog, Ike. Is it really so good to sit like a lummox all day? Nevertheless, I refuse to be broken. Miss Condowe has taken my typewriter. She claims it disturbed the other dogs. Does anyone care if the other dogs disturb me? Yours, Ike.
Dear Mrs. Laro, Were the neighbors really complaining about my howling? It's hard to imagine. First, I didn't howl that much. You were away those nights, so you wouldn't know. But trust me, it was quite moderate. Second, let's recall that these are the same neighbors who are constantly waking me up in the middle of the afternoon with their loud vacuuming. I say we all have to learn to get along. My life here continues to be a nightmare. You shouldn't believe what goes. You wouldn't believe what goes on the cafeteria. Sincerely, Ike. P.S. I don't want to alarm you, but the thought of escaping has crossed my mind. Dear Mrs. Lyra, I hate to tell you this, but I'm terribly ill. It started on my paw, causing me to limp all day. Later, I felt queasy, so I could barely eat dinner, except for the yummy gravy. Then, I began to moan and howl. Finally, I had to be taken to the vet. Dr. Wilfrey claims that he can't find anything wrong with me, but I'm certain I have an awful disease. I must come home at once. Honestly yours, Ike. Dear Mrs. Lyra, thank you for the lovely get well card. Still, I was surprised that you didn't come to get me. I know what Dr. Wilfrey says, but is it really wise to take a risk at one's health? I could have recaps, you know. With fall here, I think about the fine times we used to have in the park. Remember how sometimes you would bring along those tennis ball? You would throw it in and I would retrieve it every time, except for that one time where it landed in something nasty and I brought you a stick instead. How I miss those days. Yours truly, Ike. P.S. Imagine how awful it is for me to get stuck inside my sticky tiny cell. P.P.S. I still feel pretty sick. Dear Mrs. Zaro, by the time you read this, I'll be gone. I have decided to attempt a daring escape. I'm sorry it has come to this, since I'm really a good dog. But frankly, you left me with no choice. How sad it is not to be appreciated. From now on, I'll wander from town to town without a home, or even any dog food most likely. Such is the life of a desperate outlaw. I will try to write to you from time to time as I carry on with my life, hardship, and danger. Your lonely fugitive, Ike. I haven't seen rolling like that since I left the police academy. Mrs. Laro was unhurt in the incident, though her coat was badly torn. I don't care about that, she said. I'm just happy to have my Ike back home where he belongs. Lara said he plans to throw a big party for the dog. All the neighbors will be there, and I'm gonna serve Ike's favorite dishes. I'll bet he can't wait for the chicken pie. The Snort City Register Gazette, October 10. Raya escaped doggy detention. Former Snort City resident Ike Raro escaped last night from the dormitory at the Ivor Brewster Canines Academy. The dog is described as toothy by the local police. His current whereabouts are unknown. To be honest, I thought he was bluffing when he told me he was planning to escape, said a visible, upset Gertrude R. Raro, the dog's owner. Ike tends to be a little bit of melodramatic, you know. Now I can only pray that he'll come back. Asked if she would return Ike to Browse Willers Academy, Mrs. Zaro said that she would have to wait and see. He's a good dog, basically, but he can be difficult. Dear Mrs. Laro, I continue to suffer horribly as I roam this barren wasteland. Who knows where my wanderings will take me now? Hopefully to someplace with yummy food? Remember the special treats you used to make for me? I miss them. I miss our nice, comfy apartment. But mostly, I miss you, your sad dog, Ike. P.S. I even miss the Hibbins cat in some way. Dear Mrs. Laro, the world is a hard, cruel place for a stray dog. You would scarcely believe what misery I've endured. So I decided to return home. You may try to lock me again, but that's a risk I must take. And frankly, even more than yourself, I worry about you. You may not know this, Mrs. Laro, but you need a dog. Your misunderstood friend, Ike. The Snort City Resident Gazette, October 13. A hero saves owner. Ike Laro, until recently a student from Ivers Browns Rulers Canine's Academy, returned to Snort City yesterday in a dramatic fashion. In fact, he arrived just in time to rescue his owner, Gertrude R. Laro of 2nd Avenue, from an oncoming truck. Mrs. Laro had made a trip downtown to purchase a new camel's hair coat. Apparently, she neglected to look both ways before stepping out into the traffic. The daring rescue was witnessed by several onlookers, including patrolman Newton Smitzer. He was rolling right across 2 lanes of traffic to get to her, said Smitzer. It was really something. I haven't seen rolling like that since I left the police academy. Mrs. Laro was unhurt in the incident, though her coat was badly torn. I don't care about that, she said. I'm just happy to have my Ike back home where he belongs. Laro said he plans to throw a big party for the dog. All the neighbors will be there, and I'm gonna serve Ike's favorite dishes. I'll bet he can't wait for the chicken pie. Guys, since you know, I told you this is my favorite song. Favorite book! Oh my gosh. Okay, so the reason why I love this one is because, look at this one. Like, the small details are the part here. You know, like this, whatever this is called, like this area here, it says, bad dog. How funny is that? Like, it's so unfunny. That is so funny, you know? Anyways, and then there's another one. It says here, get you too. I don't know why, but it just says here. So I'm really so surprised. And I forgot to one where it says here, dog gone, which is also like hilarious. I don't know why I'm like that, but anyways, it was so hilarious, and I love this story. And if you guys also do, don't forget to click the thumbs up button and subscribe and turn on those notification bells to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Bye.